to do everything wrong when fishing, but still catch fish. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm out here at Vern Park again. Now you may even remember, if you caught my previous video, that right about out there is where my glasses went flying. You can kind of look here, I'm kind of in the same spot. So I have never fished this beach before, but I have lost a set of glasses, so I think it kind of owes me something. But today I'm not doing your traditional beach, the surf fishing. I am just brought a single pole in my tackle box. This short little bitty blue pole I've had this thing for a couple of years now, probably about 10 years. And the reel I put on it is an older one as well. So I mean, these are from Walmart. They're not very expensive poles. And really, when you're surf fishing, you shouldn't have a short pole because you need to get a casting out there. But as you can see, the family wanted to come today out to the beach, but I didn't want to cart all my fishing stuff because Vern Park has a huge steps to walk down, and so I didn't want to bring the cart. So this stuff is just some carry-on stuff, just like a quick pickup of a fishing session without really putting much thought into it, other than the beach owes me. So we'll see. Well, I'll throw. I have no bait. I am just simply using some fish bits or any artificial lures that I have. I have a pole that has a higher test weight limit string on it than the pole or a reel, for that matter, is designed for. So it's a recipe for disaster, but not really, because if I lose my pole, I'll be out a couple $100, maybe less than $100. So I just have to buy a new one, which I actually kind of need a general all-purpose pole anyhow. So I'm not really out here trying to lose a pole. I'm just out here messing around, is what I'm trying to say. So let's get to it. Here's just a little overview of what I got. I figured I might as well be a little more informative this time around, because like I said, I'm out here just messing around. I'm not really out here for some serious fishing. And of course, that's just me saying this because I know I'm not going to catch anything. Or if I do catch something, I can always refer back to this and be like, look at this, I caught this on the least amount of stuff ever. The generic fishing pole, generic line, well, the line's actually a pretty good line. And a generic-ish, it's a Shakespeare, you know, I believe that's a Walmart brand. It's not, I really like this. I've always liked this type of a reel and rod setup. You know, I just like open face much better than the most of the other ones. There are some I'm just not good at as far as throw casting. This one is really hard not to mess it up. Shakespeare Durango. Super short. I can almost, it's probably less, not as tall as me. My thinking here was to use this as like in a canoe or a kayak or something like that, although I don't own a kayak. But it's my other pole that I had this on broke. The tip broke on me during our move, so I needed something to throw it on, and I just happen to have this one here. Like I said, probably need a new one as far as a general all-purpose. I got the three other long ones I use for surfside fishing, but I need just a generic angling rod and reel. And again, the things I have in here in my tackle box, I just recently bought this tackle box, downgraded in fact from the one I had before, which was too bulky. So I bought this at Walmart. It wasn't very much. I like the colors, and it's really transportable. I can put two in there and then two smaller ones. Now, as far as the tackle that I have, you're going to find a mix of Illinois stuff and surf stuff here. So what are you going to do? You know, I'm not going to throw away good stuff. So who knows? Fish bite when they're biting. But there is, you know, good reason to use certain things during certain times. So here, these are previously, you saw these floaters, the Pocono rigs. Those are fine. And I got got the circle hooks here, a couple of various different sizes. I guess I can open this up for you. Some different size circle hooks. And I got my sinkers there, which, I don't know, I think these 4 ounces are still too heavy. I kind of like the 2 ounces. Well, actually, that was a 2 ounce, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's like a 2 or 1 ounce there. And I got these bigger ones that, in the surf, the way the surf is today, if I was out there fishing like that today, I would be forced to probably use something like this. I prefer the triangle shaped ones, but I have a couple of those. So this one I kind of was dedicated this one to surf fishing. I'm still collecting my stuff. Now this other one here, I just kind of lightened it down from all the catfishing stuff I had and all the bass stuff, the freshwater. So this is what I'm kind of left with as far as something that might do well in the ocean. Some spin casters, some rattle traps, and then I bought these horrible metal-based leader lines that I found out probably not the best thing to use. I mean, if you think about it, the fish are down there, they see this metal shining, they're probably like, holy crap, don't bite that. So that's why I switched over to these other ones that are just line-based. And like I said, just a kind of a if you were freshwater fishing, crappie, some smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, that kind of thing, trout perhaps on some of this. I think some of that will transfer over pretty good to the ocean. And here, this is kind of a bit smaller of the same here. Just some of this, like I even got I have a fly casting pole at home that I fished with occasionally, but not too often. I just get through some in there. Just kind of not sure what I'm going to do with this one, this particular container. And here, this one's based on jigs. Something that could also very well transfer over into the ocean. And this is what I'm going to be fishing with today. At the start is one of these jigs, one of these tubes, and then some fish bits. Alright, well, this is how I'm going to fish this. I'm going to jig it with that yellow jig, and then a rather obnoxious red, and then a fish bit on there. I believe that fish bit is sand flea flavored. I got to learn stop tearing it up like that. Where it kind of matters. I got different flavors, and really got to kind of try and match something natural, especially when you're not using live bait. Is my thinking on this. So anyway, I'll be jigging with this little pole out in that nasty surf out there. So let's give it a go. Let me get out here and try a couple casts. I'm not even bothering looking the best place for it. You can see, it's coming in here. This is probably a riptide a little bit right there going back. So I assume there's going to be a fish not too far out there looking for one to catch. Yeah, it feels really weird. I also don't have a circle hook on. It's a regular jig. And so if I do get a hit, I'm going to have to set the hook, and I'm going to have to remember that because, I just trained myself not to do that with these circle hooks. So I guess, what's the best way to surf if I'm fishing this, It's pushing back towards me. I guess I can just let it hit the ground and kind of jig it off the bottom, assuming there's structure down there. It's not like a lake, I'll tell you that much. And I'm probably just wasting my time here, not knowing 100%. I could also throw it out and let it sit for a while. I don't know. I'll have to fish it for a bit and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's rather peculiar because once I get it down on the bottom, I can feel it hitting the bottom. And then a wave grabs the line up top. It feels like a fish going with it. The same for when the waves start to go back out. Definitely feels like a fish That's just the nature of the water. Very weird sensation trying to fish like this. Since I can't get this out there beyond the waves, what I'm kind of trying to do here is letting it kind of go with the waves, tightening it up as much as I can, take the slack out. And I'm also trying to break myself of the habit of going like this. This is usually how I fish in a lake. That's not cutting it here, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't see. Those top waves will grab that line and yank it. So I'm losing contact with the bait. So I don't know what's going on. I can't feel nothing. You know, a fish might grab it, and I miss the set of the hook. So we'll try this a little bit more. All right, well, I switched over to this rig for pompano, and I have that little 1 ounce weight on there, or 2 ounce, sorry. And I got some clam and shrimp flavored fish bits on this floater. The idea that this sits on the ground or on the bottom of the ocean, and this floats up, and then the fish come eat it. Now you can see there, my tip of my pole is already stressed, so I can't imagine this is going to work out very well on this setup. I think I got a little bite. Might just be the waves. I didn't throw it out past as far as normal. I just threw it kind of real easy. Yeah. Those little whitings must be up pretty close, or grunts. So they're not way out there like I thought. It's more, oh, I got a fish! It's more, they're closer on this side of the break waves. So that's fine. It's pretty good for, oh, there goes my chair. Just hold on, fish. It's pretty good for artificial bait. Looks like they got the pink one, which is, I believe, was the shrimp. Alright, I'm gonna risk losing my pole for you, fish, just to get you out here, because I appreciate the effort. Keep up the good work. Alright, attaboy. Oop. That's right, you got away. I didn't let you go. Tell your friends. A point of reference then. See those they're breaking right there, and then they kind of waver a little bit, so they're about to break, and then break. And there was an occasional little dip. So what I aimed into that last time was just on this side of that break. So I assume there's structure right there. So that's what I'm gonna try for again. Close to shore. I think. Bye, fish. I'm pretty sure that was a baby pompano. Pompano. If you can see that pole. When you're holding it, you can really feel the difference between the waves bringing it in and out and an actual tap. Even that little fish, whatever it was, I felt an actual tap, like somebody tapping the end of your pole. So at least when you're doing it like this versus in a pole holder, you can get a feel for it. And I suppose the tip of the pole probably went tip, tap, tap. So that tippity tap, that's what I'm looking for, especially in this rough surf. If I thought ahead, I could have made this like I drowned on the beach and I'm going up into heaven. But no. Hey, I appreciate you watching this far. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you liked it and want to subscribe, obviously. But it would really help me out. So please try and consider it. Hit the button. You can do it right now. Also, I have some Outtakes. Yeah, that's right. At the end of this video that my daughter T helped me shoot, that beginning scene. So here, enjoy these outtakes, and please, again, like and subscribe. So I guess I should tell you, just to be, I'm recording now.
Oh, okay.
Just in case I want to add this in there. So I'm going to lay there where that pole is, and then you just get your wide shot, and then come on into it, and
okay.
then
zoom in on your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to talk.
Okay.
Okay. I almost got rid of my pole. Okay. How to do everything wrong when fishing. Get it? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Get midway, try to time midway when the wave comes up. Okay. All right, ready. Am I too far away? How come I'm not feeling any waves?
It's too late to stop.
Wait, you gotta get some wave action. This is so stupid. That should do it. How to do everything wrong when fishing, but still catch fish. How's that? You got water in my ear. Okay.